Tokyo did not rebuild after the war. It reorganized. There was no single plan to rebuild the city. Instead, different parts of Tokyo were asked to solve different problems. That decision still shapes how the city works today.
I have no idea what kind of fish that is.
Tokyo is often described as chaotic. In reality, it is highly organized. Just not in the way most people expect.
Guys, we're here at Ueno Market. It's very cold, it's frozen outside, but it's good to walk, to explore, to relieve our stress. So just enjoy. This is my off today.
Modern Tokyo works, not because its problems disappeared, but because they were structured. In 1945, Tokyo was not a capital. It was a logistics nightmare. Entire districts were flattened. Supply chains were gone. Millions of people were alive, and that was all the city could still guarantee. Around major rail hubs, particularly near Ueno, rebuilding did not wait for permission. People built stalls out of scrap materials, wooden frames, tarps, crates. They sold whatever could move quickly: food, clothing, soap, sweets.
Ueno, U-E-N-O.
The market was not elegant. It was efficient. This became Ameyoko. Prices were negotiated out loud. Goods changed hands fast. Trust was not institutional. From the outside, it looked chaotic. From the inside, it worked. When formal systems collapse, they are replaced by usable ones. Ameyoko existed because survival does not wait for consensus. If something keeps people alive, it is tolerated. That became Tokyo's first rule after the war. The city learned to survive by lowering its standards and its altitude. But survival alone does not rebuild a nation. A city also needs direction. A few kilometers away, Tokyo was solving a different problem. Not hunger, perception. Near embassies, military installations and foreign press offices, another economy formed. Bars, clubs, cabarets, English signage, American music. Japan was poor, but the pressure shaping these districts did not come from within the country. It came from people who passed through briefly, spent heavily, and left no roots behind.
Exploring the world, the middle of the cold.
It is very cold. It's a very cold winter's night here in Tokyo. It's kind of nice, refreshing change of scenery, right?
Where Ameyoko absorbed desperation, this part of the city absorbed expectation. What emerged? A city learning how to adjust itself without being asked. If you could make foreigners comfortable, if you could translate Japan into something familiar, you had
I'd
value.
like to have some French toast. French toast.
Roppongi developed without deep roots. It didn't inherit a merchant tradition. It didn't protect all the customs. It became something else.
You want to take away the girl. Can you take away? But you carry the girl.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this?
Why did I believe that's you, right?
An interface. Flexible. Negotiable. Emotionally detached. Roppongi taught Tokyo how to be seen again. And being seen changes behavior. The city did not clean itself up. It reorganized what was allowed to be seen. Disorder continued elsewhere, but not where attention gathered. Tokyo had moved beyond survival. It was curating itself for an external audience. In Roppongi, the city feels measured and distant. People arrive, transact, and leave. During the day in Ameyoko, the city is dense and immediate. Transactions repeat. Faces return. Continuity matters. One manages access, the other manages survival. Tokyo could function with both, but by the late 1950s, function was no longer enough. "333 meters of steel, rising above a city still reorganizing itself. Much of that steel came from melted down American military tanks, left behind after the Korean War. Machines designed for occupation and force were stripped, recast, and turned into infrastructure for broadcast. Material once meant to dominate the ground was redirected to carry signals over the city. This was not recovery. It was a statement. The war was over. The occupation was over. Tokyo Tower unified something Japan had lost during the war. Shared attention. For the first time in years, millions of people could experience the same moment at the same time. By centralizing broadcasts and synchronizing information, the tower reduced the pressure on individual districts to define what Tokyo was. Ameyoko no longer had to suppress its noise, its crowds, or its informality to appear modern. Roppongi no longer had to stand in for the city's future through spectacle and display. Different parts of Tokyo were allowed to operate according to different rules, without destabilizing the system as a whole. That was the post-war settlement. Coherence without uniformity.
So here we are waiting at the bottom of Tokyo Tower. Nice and warm in here, huh?
Fit in the world.
One part of the city absorbed desperation, one part absorbed foreign pressure, and one part absorbed the responsibility of holding everything together. Tokyo remained stable, not because its contradictions disappeared, but because none of them were allowed to dominate. Desperation stayed close to the ground. Access faced outward. Coordination moved upward into infrastructure. Those layers were never meant to agree, only to hold. That's why the city still works, and why it will never feel whole.